nasabs. Allah says categorically in the Quran, لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خير منهم. That one group of people should not mock another group of people, because maybe they are better than you are. Allah says it 1400 years in the Kalam of Allah. He revealed the book. He said, لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خير منهم. What you perceive to be a reality is not necessarily a reality in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not necessarily a reality. Let me tell you a story. Last week we came from Andalus. So let me tell you about this story. It's an amazing story about a Shaykh called Abu Abdullah al-Andalusi. Shaykh Abu Abdullah al-Andalusi was from Spain, but he lived in Baghdad. He was the Imam of his time. He was a Sufi Shaykh. Whose Shaykh was he? He was the Shaykh of Junayd al-Baghdadi. He was the Shaykh of Imam al-Shibli. These were huge, major scholars, Junayd al-Baghdadi. Not only was he Sufi Shaykh, he knew 30,000 muhaddis. He knew 30,000 hadith on the top of his head. 30,000 with the chain of transmission. So he was a Shaykh and he was a muhaddith. He knew he was a hafiz of the Quran. So Imam Shibli said, me, Junayd Baghdadi, we were traveling with the Shaykh in Andalus, and we went past this village, and we wanted some water, but we couldn't find any water in the village, so we went to the outskirts, the other side of the village. And there were a group of there was a group of ladies taking some water out. And amongst these women was this beautiful Christian girl. She had a beautiful necklace on, bangles on. So the Shaykh asked, who is this girl? And they said that this is the daughter of the king, our king. So the Shaykh said, why is he dishonoring her in this manner? Why is he basing her? Why is she collecting water? He said, because he's doing a tarbiyah. When she gets married, he wants her to serve her husband. The Shaykh looked at this girl for a while, and then came food time. Shaykh doesn't want to eat. Next food, Shaykh doesn't want to eat. Besides praying his salah for 3 days, the Shaykh ate nothing. So Imam Shibli is narrating this. Imam Shibli says, I went to the Shaykh and I said, Shaykh, we're all very perplexed. What's wrong? He said, I've fallen in love with this girl. I'm infatuated with this girl. He says, Shaykh, you're the Imam of Iraq. You have tens and thousands of murids, Imam of Iraq. You have madrasas all over Iraq. He said, my fate is sealed. I can't do anything. He said, go leave. Shibli said, we tried to convince him. He said, leave. He said, we cried so much that the earth beneath us became wet with our tears. He goes, we left Shaykh and we went back. He said, after an entire year, all the madrasas, all the institutes of the Shaykh were closed down. Everything. Can you imagine? The Shaykh is the Shaykh of who? Junayd al-Baghdadi, Imam al-Shibli, and many other great scholars. He said, after a year, Imam Shibli said, I thought, let me go and see how the Shaykh is. He said, we went to the village and we asked the people where the Shaykh. They said, he's outside on the outskirts of the village. He said, we left to go to the outskirts of the village, and there was Shaykh. He was looking after pigs, swine herd. He said he had a Christian hat on, and the staff, the asa, the stick with which he used to do the Jummah khutbah, he was herding the swines and the pigs with that. He said we gave him salam. The Shaykh gave us salam back. And he said, what's this, Shaykh? He said, the king has put 3 conditions upon me if I want to get married to his daughter. 1, I must become a Christian. 2, I must serve the church. And 3, I must look after the pigs. And that's what I'm doing. He said, and he said, oh Shaykh, how did this happen? And he said, the Shaykh looked to the heavens and he said, oh Allah, I never thought you'd throw me so far away. Oh Allah, I never thought you'd throw me so far away. He said, there was a time I used to look after people's hearts. Today I'm looking after pigs. And he said, Shaykh, we tried to convince the Shaykh, and the Shaykh said, my fate is sealed. he asked him, he said, Shaykh, what, you are half of the Quran. What ayahs do you remember? He said, I remember 2 ayahs. Whoever Allah disgraces, nobody can give him Islam. And whoever chooses kufr after iman, then he has gone astray. He said, hadith, 30,000 hadith with a chain of transmission. Which hadith do you remember? He said, I remember one. Whoever turns away from his deen should be killed. He said, we made dua. Shaykh was crying. He said, we were crying. He said, we cried so profusely that even the pigs started making noises. The valley sounded like Qiyamah. He said, with a heavy heart we returned. And all the way we were crying. He said, 3-day journey. Into 3-day journey, what do we see? He said, we see the Shaykh coming out of the sea. He just had a bath in the sea. He's in front of us. And he asks us for new clothes, and he's reciting the Shahada. And he takes some clothes, he wears some new clothes, and then he prays his Salah. And then the Shaykh, Abu Abdullah al-Andalusi, went back to Baghdad, and he opened his madrasas again. They say after this, his madrasas flourished even more, he had more murids, and Allah increased him in knowledge. So they asked him, Shaykh, what happened? He said, in this village there were Christians, there were temples, etc. He said, I looked at them and I looked inside one of the churches. And I said to myself, these people can never compare with me. Not doing the shukr of Allah, these people can never compare with me. He said, Allah didn't like this statement. He said, I heard a voice saying, is that what you think of yourself? See how we deal with you. See how we deal with you. So it's about perceptions, my dear respected brothers. It's about perceptions. How you perceive. When Allah gives you a favor, do you do shukr or do you become arrogant? When Allah gives you wealth, do you become shukr or do you become arrogant? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you ability and you are not disabled, how do you look at other people? Because if you look at people, let me just finish on this statement and remember this statement. If you look at people who are, because you regard them not as handsome as you, or you regard yourself as a better lineage, or you are more able, you see a disabled person, you begin to look down upon them, or somebody is less fortunate than you, then I'll tell you what you are doing. You are not finding fault in that person. You are finding fault in the one who created that person. You are finding fault in your Creator. It's about perception, how you perceive reality. If you have a warped perception of reality, then you will have a warped world focus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who see reality as reality is. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us united in dunya and reunite us in Jannah al-Firdaus. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.